capital of the great state of Queensland, and it's fair to say that this city has changed beyond all recognition in recent decades. It's split right down the middle by the mighty Brisbane River, with the CBD on one side and the fabulous South Bank.
Where you can see pretty much all of the skyline of Brisbane along with a bridge, and it's just a great spot to grab some photos, hang out for a little bit. You can even picnic there if you want. There's some picnic tables. It was absolutely beautiful.
Alright guys, so we just got down here to Howard Smith Wharf, which is this area, as you can see, with an incredible backdrop that was recently developed. It has a bunch of new restaurants, bars, and a brewery that we are about to check out.
To the ferry though, this basically brings to a bunch of different spots around Brisbane via the river. And once again, you use that great card and it'll get you quick and efficiently to the next spot.
It's a little late, but it's right here, Customs House. It's the first building built in Brisbane. The English government, when they built towns, they would actually start by building a customs centre so they could check all the goods and everything coming into the town, so they could tax it and they make money for the Queen. Also help build roads and stuff like that. So all the really old buildings in Brisbane are built out of the stone quarried from Kangaroo Point, and where we were having breakfast today, Felon. These high banks have very, very hard rock that they use the convicts, the labour of the day, prisoners basically, to construct all the old buildings like the cathedral, Customs House, probably Parliament House, things like that, like centres of government control were built out of this really great sandstone that we have here. The Kangaroo Point was where a lot of the stone from the city was quarried, and now it's used as a recreational climbing spot. It's actually a really fantastic place to go rock climbing. Halfway up you look around, you see all the skyscrapers and botanical gardens. The view from up top's pretty good. We'll probably go there later today.
Alright guys, we just made it over to Riverside and of course if you're coming to the Riverside area, there's a lot of bars in this area where you'll be able to get a nice happy hour special. $6 Australian will get you either a nice glass of champagne, beer, or a few different other options.
We'll finish our drinks and then we'll head up to the Queen Street Mall. Okay, so we're at the post office, the General Post Office in Brisbane. This is one of the earlier buildings built in Brisbane. You can see a little bit of the cathedral. They were built right across the road from each other because they kept everything nice.
So guys, just made it down here to South Brisbane, and I'm so excited to be here because I read about this place maybe 3-4 days ago when I knew we were going to Brisbane. And what it is it's this area where they have a man-made.
There's plenty more to see and do in South Bank. The main attraction is Streets Beach, a palm-fringed swimming lagoon. Also take the opportunity to get a bird's eye view of the city on board the epic Wheel of Brisbane. Kids and big kids at heart will love this experience. It's moderately priced, air-conditioned, and offers sensational views of South Bank, the river, the CBD, and beyond. Now, taking public transport isn't generally a travel bucket list item, but the fleet of city cats that skim up and down the Brisbane River offer no ordinary commute. The views are sublime, and all you'll need to experience the beauty of Brizzy from the water is a go-kart.
To take a ride on the City Cat is incredibly beautiful. As someone who came to Brisbane from Melbourne, I think the way that the river winds its way through the city and around the city is very beautiful, and also can make it quite challenging to think, what side of the river are we on? So just like speeding across the water is wonderful, and there are so many boardwalks and parks along the way where you can get off and take a walk, have a glass of wine, have a coffee, walk in the park. Yeah.
Thanks, Geraldine. Loving the sound of that glass of wine, we head downriver to New Farm Park, home to the Brisbane Powerhouse, a repurposed tram power station that's now the city's hippest performance and exhibition space. And it has a great bar and restaurant overlooking the river. Even if you're not seeing a show, it's worth checking out this hulking, once derelict structure, which still bears the scars of decades of abandonment. Tours are offered, book online. It's time to explore the CBD, and the best way to do that is on foot. Download a free self-guided walking tour itinerary and map from the City of Brisbane website.
Street Mall, which is in the centre of Brisbane, in the middle of the city of Brisbane. It is an outdoor and indoor mall, which is really cool, and it pretty much has everything you could ever want, from your high-end, like top designers, to your more standard, regular shops. Everyone comes here. It's so close to Central Station. It's easy walk. This is where everyone comes and kind of meets, hangs out, shops. It's also Christmas Eve.
Neoclassical City Hall is one of Brisbane's finest period buildings. It's home to the Museum of Brisbane, which is dedicated to showcasing the city's history. We're keen to learn more about City Hall and what's in store for museum visitors.
This was the second most expensive public project in the country. Only Sydney Harbour Bridge cost more money at the time. So we're standing in what at the time was a £977,000 building, which means nothing today in terms of inflation and wages and the rest. So the museum started downstairs on ground floor back in October of 2003. It's been up here on the roof for just over 8 years. It started in the same rooms where the Civic Art Gallery used to be. That was established in the 70s. So there's an art collection that the Museum of Brisbane still looks after today, on behalf of council, on behalf of the public. We do have a lot of historical works in the collection, but as time goes on, there's a lot of exhibitions in recent years that have been a showcase for up-and-coming and emerging artists.
During our visit, we get to see the Storytellers exhibition, which narrates the history of the city through the eyes and personal experience of several contemporary writers. It's beautifully presented and an intimate look at Brisbane's multi-layered past.
What's interesting with, I think, storytellers, you get stories from, like Fortitude Valley, even stories about the old Lang Park or Suncorp Stadium. I think people realise there's worthy stories all the way along. It doesn't have to be just people in big handlebar moustaches or anything. There's quite a range of things being told there.
You've seen it up close, now get an epic view of the city from the Mount Coot-tha Summit Lookout. Surrounded by the Mount Coot-tha Forest with its many walking trails, the summit can be reached by bus from the CBD, so whip out that go-card. On a good day, the views are spectacular. If you're feeling peckish, the Summit Cafe serves light meals and refreshments. Definitely have worked up an appetite. So head downriver by CityCat to Eat Street North Shore, which has repurposed a disused wharf and around 180 shipping containers to create a culinary world village. This is one of Brisbane's most popular and relaxed dining experiences and offers no end of taste sensations. Eat Street North Shore also serves up an array of live entertainment.
An amount you can pay, I'm not sure how much it is, it's probably $2 or something, but you can get a continuation once you're on the ferry, so it doesn't really add up, it's just a constant trip, so that's why you swipe on and off so you can get those continuations. Okay, hi, we're in New Farm Park. This is kind of the beating heart of New Farm, which is one of the more kind of hip suburbs, reasonably central to Brisbane. And this park is huge. Families come down here, enjoy the space here and all the flowers. This time of year especially, there's a lot of flowers out. The gardens are really well kept. There's actually free Wi-Fi in this park if you're looking for free Wi-Fi. It's down the
Brisbane offers plenty of amazing day trip options, but here are two of our faves. Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary is one of the few places in Australia where it's possible to hold a koala. The sanctuary is located 15 kilometres west of the CBD, and the easiest way to get there is on board the famous Koala Cruise along the Brisbane River with Miramar Cruises. The cruise departs from the Cultural Centre public pontoon at South Bank. You'll enjoy entertaining and informative commentary on points of interest along the way, and get a squiz at the multi-million-dollar homes located upriver. On arrival at Lone Pine, you'll have around 3 hours to explore. And finally, it may not be as well known as its southern counterparts, but stunning Mount Tamborine in the Gold Coast hinterland harbours a thriving winemaking industry. We're joining the Vino Bus on their popular daily wine tour to the region from Brisbane. The drive from the CBD takes around an hour, and we're soon pulling up at our first stop, the characterful Tamborine Mountain Distillery. This multi-award-winning producer of boutique fruit liqueurs and spirits offers something to tempt every palate. We get to try their signature drop before choosing 2 other flavoured liqueurs to sample. On to fabulous Witches Falls Winery, where the cellar door is surrounded by lush gardens. With the winter sun shining, we head outdoors for our guided tasting and the unexpected appearance of a platter of local cheeses. Combining traditional winemaking practices with advanced technology, Witches Falls wines are finely nuanced, and the bar is set high for the rest of the day. From there, it's just a few minutes' drive to the picturesque Cedar Creek Estate, where we enjoy another tasting and our included 2-course lunch, which encompasses a number of menu choices. We take a break from sipping and supping to drink in the incredible views of the hinterland before heading to our final stop, Mason Wines. Here, the cellar door deck takes full advantage of the tranquil setting. That bar was high, but Mason's easily made the grade, and wine aficionados will feel right at home here. For more ideas for amazing things to do